Hi. I'll be demonstrating how this whole system works. We have active domain. It's under the GSR.emotorsports.my. But for the purpose of this demo, I'll be showing the system from my local laptop. But it basically works exactly the same way. So let's start with this. So this is what the site looks like. Pretty standard introduction, some banners, and then what GSR Emotorsports is all about, how do drivers actually register and finally the three stages of registering, logging to the dashboard, and then joining a league. And at the section below that, you can see that there's a section that says active leagues that you can join. At the moment, there are no active leagues because we haven't published any. So let's look at how this is done. So I already have created an organizer account. So let's log into that. We do that by navigating to the top, organizer login. Key in our details and wait until we redirected to your dashboard. So as you can see, there are no contents as of right now. Active leagues, inactive leagues, previous league, add new league, and then there's another button that says league join request. We'll come back to this later on. So as of now, we would like to create a new league, and we'll click on the add new league. You'll be redirected to a form with all the required information. So it's important to fill in all the details. So let's give this league a name. We're going to call it GSR Sprint Series. We'll give a starting date. Let's just say that it starts on the 14th of May and the league ends on the 21st of May. We'll select our time zone. This is what the drivers will see that we'll see the time zone set as GMT +8. Race time. This basically is the event starting time. That basically means the practice starts at let's say 9 p.m. The number of rounds that this league will hold. So since we selected 2 weeks, let's say 2 rounds. Maximum team size. This depends. This basically defines if this is a team event or an individual event. So if it's an individual event, we'll select as 1, and if you allow team event, it will be higher than 1. Let's just say that the maximum number of drivers in this league that we'll allow is 2. I mean, you can set this as high as you want, depending on your server capacity. Give an introductory text, which will be visible on the site. I'm going to call this Friday night sprint race. All right, the next section next section you fill in all the details like introduction goes here, rules, terms and conditions, and etc. etc. You can customize the text. All right. So selected sim. Basically, at the moment, we're supporting Assetto Corsa Comeptizione. All right, and then we'll select the vehicle category for this league. You could either select GT3, GT4, or multi-class. So just for the purpose, we'll select GT3. It will show you the list of cars. Do not edit this. All you need to do is just select from the vehicle category above. Over here, we will define the point system. The point system basically is what points will be allocated for each race positions. So starting from the first and going down to the first place, last place. So let's just say that the first point will be 10. The next point for second place would be 8. Third place would be 6. fourth place would be 5, then 4, then 3, then 2, then 1, and so on. Alright, if we are going to give any points for pole position, if it's yes, put in your points. If it's nothing, so we put 0. Let's say we give a point for fastest lap, so you just put in the amount, the number of points for fastest lap 1. Alright, next would be bonus points. Is there any? For purpose, none. It's not yet implemented properly. What are the criteria for bonus points? It's not applicable. Cash prize, if any, have we defined here. So there's none. Other prizes, probably something like podium places will receive trophies. And if there are any registration fee for the league. So, alright, the next session is your Discord settings. This basically gives you the option when a driver requests to join a league, a message would be sent to your own personal Discord channel. So you're aware that there's a new registration. Then the next one is a link where a webhook link where once the driver is accepted by the organizer, it will be shown on the Discord channel. And the last one is to post results on Discord channel. So I have created a couple of webhooks. I'll just link them up here. Give me a while. So this is the link to my Discord channel for a new request to join league. The next one is this, is where once the driver is accepted, the message will be displayed, and lastly, the results. I'll show an example of this as we go through. For the time being, let's just keep like this. Alright, so we filled up all the relevant information. Let us now save this league. Alright, congratulations. You have successfully created a league. And there was a mistake, sorry, it was a bit quick. It basically just tells you that it successfully created the league. Alright, so let us now go to the dashboard and let's have a look. So as you can see that it's an inactive, there are no active leagues because we haven't activated it yet. So we'll check on our inactive leagues and you can see that this is what we've created. Alright, so we go into the details of this. This is where you would upload your banner image for the league and all the other details that we keyed in are shown here. Please do know that this is still under the organizer panel. This is not what is shown to the drivers, but it's pretty much the same. So alright, so firstly we'll add a banner. We'll give you a pop-up and then we'll locate our banner file. The resolution required is 1920 by 1080. Okay, GSR Emotorsport demo resources, right, so leagues. So let's say this is our banner image, as you can see. So this is the banner image. All right. So we have successfully now created a league, but there are no events. So we need to add events, which is at the bottom of the page, and we will add our first event. Click on the add new event. All right. So now when you create a new event, the first option would be to select the league. So this event is particularly for which league? So this is for the GSR Sprint Series. We will give this a name. Race 1 sorry, this is round number, so this is round 1. We'll give this a name, Sprint Race 1. The date would be on the 14th. The event time would be, as we defined earlier, 9 PM. The venue would be select a list of from the available venues for Assetto Corsa. So let's say Nürburgring. The server name, so we can have a GSR Emotorsports Sprint Race round 1. Server password. Set this. This is the password that's required to join the server. Event race entry fee as of none. Let's create the event. Your event race was created successfully. All right. So as you can see, we now have one event created. We do not have any artwork, just like above. Let's upload our artwork. Let's just say it's the same for the time being. You could upload a separate artwork, different artwork for this. All right. So we've successfully created this, but this would still not be visible because our league has not yet been activated. Let's have a look at this. What I mean. All right. So we switch our browsers and we go to the home page. As you can see, there's still no leagues that shows up on the page, and that's mainly because, as I just mentioned, that we haven't activated it. So let us go and activate the league. So we go back to this page and we activate our league. Your league has been successfully activated. Okay, so we're good to go, and then you can see you have this option which now says deactivate league. If you would like to edit any contents, you can of your league text, you just go into edit and you make whatever changes you need. For us, it's fine. All right, so it's the same goes for this. If you would like to make any changes, you just go and edit all the details over here. All right, so now the next phase would be is for drivers to log in and sign up for this league. So we'll log out of our organizers panel, we go back to the home page, and if you go to the bottom now, voila, there's a league that's available. So it's the details of the league are here. Further details would be in this section. League information gives you all the information about the league, what cars available, what are the point system, give the points for pole positions and whatever we've defined, and then the event calendar. As you can see, server details are here. Password only visible to registered drivers. All right. We have the organizer details and then the league standing. So we do not have any drivers, so there's no league standing visible right now. So in order to sign up, we require a driver account. So let's quickly create a driver account. So let's create mine. Algorithms pricing AGF, my Steam ID, which is known, my Discord username. This is required because most of the league organizers nowadays communicate and convey message via Discord, so it's a required field. All right, so email address, my phone number. Our date of birth would be 8/02/1986, Malaysia. Password. Submit registration. Alright, you may now log in. Alright, so let's log in. So the moment you log in, the first time you log in, you would be directed to a usage page that would give an instruction of how this whole system works, initial steps. Once you register, you need to complete a driver profile. You can move on to a driver profile by clicking here or from the menu above. And then from your dashboard, you have three available sections. Uh, Available active leagues shows the leagues that you've joined. Available leagues that you can join. My active leagues, leagues that you have signed up, and upcoming races, the races that are upcoming for you. And then the league details. What are the tabs? What are the information, and what do they convey? You can see league standings, custom, submit custom livery. All right, and then check in. This is required for you to ensure that you are able to join the server, and recheck in is basically if it's a team event, you recheck in as changing your entry list order. We'll see. Look into this later on. If you would like to allocate, the next one is about requesting team change. The only way to make this happen is you withdraw yourself from the league and re-register. All right, so let us now go to driver profile and update our profile. So this is what the profile page looks like. As for me, I've already keyed in most of the details while registration, which are anyway required fields. All we need to do is upload a profile picture now. Let's do that. Profile pictures. All right. Now you can see there's a profile picture as well. All right, so let's now go and sign up for our first league. Right, so now you can see that since you've logged in as a registered member, you have the button to join the league. Click here to join now, and we shall do so. So once you click that, you'll be form would pop up. You would need to key in the information that's required. The league ID, it's irrelevant to us. Anyway, it's a locked field. You can't type in. Your Steam ID is also locked. This is just to ensure that the Steam ID is correct. That's why it's visible. So we're the first team, the first driver to register, so there's nothing that you can select from. So let's go ahead and click a new team. We'll give this name. So we'll give this team a name. We'll call it GSR Esports Team 1. Alright, and then we will select the vehicle. Please select your vehicle. Alright, so the list of vehicles are available from the drop down. So let's just pick a Ferrari 488 2018. We'll show the selected vehicle that we've just selected, and then preferred car number. This is required. It's quite important. So you key in your preferred car number. So, let's say I would like to take 999, and you need to check availability. Yes, it's available. So we submit registration. Right, so request has been successfully submitted. Once the administrator accepts, you will be notified. All right. So we are now pending the organizer to accept us into the league. By right, once we've done this, there should have been a notification in our Discord. So let us now open our Discord channel and see if we have actually received a notification. Give a second. Discord. Alright, so as you can see, at 3:27, in our request channel, request to join channel, we've received a new driver registration with the details filed before. GSR Emotorsports Team 1, Ferrari 488. Alright, awesome, so that works. Okay, so let's go back to the browser. So what we now need to do is the organizer now needs to accept the driver into the league. So we'll log into our organizer panel. So there are two ways to know that somebody has signed up for your league. One is via your Discord. Second is when you log into your dashboard. From the top menu, you can see the league join request. There is one, which means there's one driver that has requested to join the league. Let's click on that. You would then get the details of that driver, the vehicle, the team name, and for which particular series. So what we would do is would accept this, and once you accept that, you would get a notification in your Discord again that the driver has been accepted. An email would be sent out to the driver along with a message in their dashboard as well. So and if you wish to decline this driver, you just click on decline and he'll be rejected from the league. So let's just click on accept. Please wait, and then driver has been accepted into the league. All right, awesome. So while we are in this particular page, let's just see that if it is actually worked. So we can see that now there is a total of one driver, and the details of this particular driver has been updated, and the league standing is also now visible. All right, so we will now log out and log back in as the driver. Alright, so this was another message that I previously had set up in the system. This basically tells every driver to make sure that the first name and last names are correct according to what they wanted to be visible in-game, because this is what would be also shown and when we publish results. So let's say we read this message. Alright, so now if you can see this notification box, it says one message. So that means that there is a message that we have received, and it states that we've been accepted into the league, which commences on the 14th of May 2021. All right, so we will mark this as read. If not, your notification box will remain as 100 message, or the number of messages that you have. So message marked as read. We go back into our dashboard. Now we can see, click on my active leagues. So this will show the leagues that you're active in. At the moment, it's just the same league because we only have created one. When you have more, there'll be a lot more upcoming races. All right, so we go into my upcoming races. We can now see the races that we have signed up for, and the details are here. I'll see more details, and we go into more details. It all shows you the number of days remaining for the race. All right. So now that we are in the league, we can actually withdraw from this particular league by clicking this withdraw button. And if you want to see more details about the organizers, the league standings is all here. The event calendar is at the bottom. All right. Something a bit about the event. So I'm in session details. All right. So session details shows empty. That's because we haven't set those session details yet as an organizer. Once we set those in, these variables will be visible here. All right, another more important thing is time to check in, which we discussed earlier. By default, the system gives you 6 hours. I mean, it leaves a buffer of about 6 hours for the organizers to have everything sorted out. So every driver needs to check into the event 6 hours before the actual start time of the event. So it was 9 p.m. on the 14th of May. So that gives us with 6 days and 23 hours and 26 minutes left to check into the event. This is very important. It's required because if you do not check in when we generate the entry list, their name would not be there and they would not be able to join the server. So it's important for the drivers to check in here. All right, for the sake of the demo, let's just check in. So we've successfully checked in. Please ensure if there are team members, they check in before the event. All right, so we do not have any check-in. team members. We go down to the bottom, and you can see it now states that you have checked in for the event. All right, so that's about it for the driver. Let's take a moment and go back to the organizers panel. Let us now set up the event. Before that, I forgot that once we accept the driver, a Discord message is shown, and let me just show you that Discord. Let's just become my Discord. Alright, so we are now on our Discord channel, and you can see it's driver registration, and the new driver has been accepted to the GSR Sprint Series. So this is where your other drivers would be in, and everybody would be able to see whenever someone new joins your league. All right, so let's close this. We go back to the browser. Okay, so going back to configure the server, so we would need to go down to the events, and we have the options: edit the contents of this particular event, delete this event. Currently it's not enabled, but you can still modify whatever you need as server config, manage event, and force allow check-in. All right, what is before we go into config the server, force allow check-in is an override system which allows you to let drivers check in even past the deadline of 6 hours before the event. So should you have an instance where some drivers were unable to check in before the deadline expired, you would click on this, and this would allow them to check in from their panel. It could be useful in certain cases. All right, so going to the server config. This is where all the Assetto Corsa server setups variables are put in. Event ID, we do not edit that; it's automatically selected. All right, so we'll just go in and fill in all these details. Stability control is 100. Auto steer is, let's say, disabled. ID line enabled. Disabled. Auto pin enabled. Auto gear enabled. So let me just quickly fill this up. By right, the track should have been visible, but sometimes it's not, so you can refresh, or you can just select the track manually. So once we refresh the page, you can see that the track is actually selected. Okay, pre-race waiting time 20 seconds, ambient temperature 26, cloud level is set at 40%, rain 10%. Weather randomness, these are exactly the settings the game allows. Post qualify 120, post race 120, 0. Now the session details. First session, practice session, which let's say starts at 10 a.m. on a Sunday. Time multiplier 1, and it's a 30-minute session. Qualifying session would be at, let's say, 12 p.m. on Sunday, and time multiplier 1 is a 15-minute session, and the race would be at 3 p.m. on a Sunday, time multiplier, and it's a 45 minutes race. Classification type, your pole position is set by your fastest lap. We do not have any pit window length. Driver stint times are not enabled. Fueling allowed. Yes, we would allow that. Is false. Mandatory pit stops none. Maximum driver time none. Maximum driver count per team is 1. And that's what we set in our league data set. Mandatory pit does the mandatory, if you have a mandatory pit, and does it require you to fill up fuel? So no, but let's say yes, we want a mandatory pit stop, but and requires has to be changed. Set it true. So drivers know tires account is 20 tires for the weekend. So as you can see, the server name has already picked up from what we defined earlier. Admin password. This is your server admin password. Admin password. I'll just set it as admin password. Car group is G3. Any requirements? So we previously set server password. Let's say we'll change this to race the password. Any password for spectators? No spectators. That's the password. The maximum car slots. We're expecting 50 cars, whatever you desire. Yes, yes. It's race locked. If it's locked, how do we want to allow drivers to join during race? Yes, we do. Should they have disconnection? Formation lab, type 1 formation lab, default formation lab with position control and UI. And now, and set this to no. So let's just save our settings. Your settings have been saved. All right. So now that we've saved our settings, let us now go into manage event. So as you can see, I've already checked in as a driver earlier, so registered team drivers who've already checked in. So the information is here. On your left, you have update results. That's done when. So that's results are updated after the event, and then now you can download all your server settings. So for the sake of this, we'll skip through this as I have already downloaded or these details. Or let's just, I mean, it shouldn't take long, so let's just do this. All right, so download settings, save events, save. Save rules. We see. Alright, so let's say we've already set this. We've downloaded our files. Shortly, I will show you how it's set on the server. For the sake of this demo, I will add one more driver into this league. So I'll skip that bit and we'll come back to the screen once I've done that. Alright, so I checked in as logged into this event and registered as another driver. And as you can see, we now have one more driver by the name of driver 1. This driver has not checked in, and hence the reason is still pending checking. So what we can do is we can send a reminder message to everyone where email and inbox message will be sent to you reminding you to check in for the event. So I've gone and checked in on the browser, and let's just refresh and see that if it's in. Alright, so both the drivers have checked in. Let's say that we only gonna have a race with just 2 drivers. Download custom liveries is when drivers have uploaded their liveries on the server. All you need to do is just download this, click this download button, a file will be downloaded, and you just put the cars folder in your server, and that's it. It's as easy as that. You do not need to rewrite any entries or make any manual adjustments. Everything is done automatically. Alright, so let's just generate our entry list, and we will save this entry list. So what we would now like to do is all these downloaded files that we have, and we would like to upload these downloaded files into a server so that the server now runs these settings. So let's just do that. Give me a while. Alright, so we will now upload this files that we've generated from the system into our server so that the server runs this configuration. Config folder. Alright, so we will just Erase, delete the previous config files, and we'll upload the ones that we just generated. Alright, give it a while for it to upload. Meanwhile, let us log into our server panel. So as we can see that the files have been uploaded. So what we need to do is just restart the server, and this will load up the new configuration files. Let's look into our web console and make sure that the server is running. Alright, so server has been restarted with GSR Emotorsports sprint race round 1. Alright, so everything looks good. So what do we do? Let's try and load up Assetto Corsa and see if we can log in to the game. So, alright, so let's wait for the game to load so we can log into the multiplayer and see if everything is fine. Alright, so let's go into the multiplayer server list. Our server name was GSR Motorsports. Yes, sprint race. Let's try to connect. And it says wrong password. Alright, that's because I just changed the password. So let's key in the correct password. I believe it was race day. Wasn't it? That's the wrong password. Let me just check what was the password for this. Okay, so the password is race day password. Alright, so race day password. Connect. And we are unable to connect because according to the entry list, you have selected Ferrari 488 and you've selected McLaren here. So which means that it's actually working. So let us go and select the Ferrari 488 and hang on. Confirm. Alright, so we've now selected Ferrari 488. We've entered the password and let's try and connect to the server. Alright, so we have now successfully connected into the server. Let's give it a couple of seconds to load to check the session details. Alright, so we had set practice for 10 a.m. on a Sunday for 30 minutes, qualifying at 12 p.m. for 15 minutes, and race starts at 3 p.m. for 45-minute sessions. Alright, so absolutely working fine. So let's just quit the game and look into the next phase. So, alright, so we now go back to our browser. Let's just assume that we've finished the event and we would like to now upload the results of this particular race. So we will come back into this section of managing the event and we will click on update results. So you'll be redirected to this page where the instructions is there stating what's the file type, and it's important to notice this because we need the file encoding to be in UTF-8, but I've noticed that a lot of servers are encoding files in different formats, which is actually not right. But if you do come across this issue and you notice your files in UTF-16, all you need to do is open up the file in Notepad and save it as a UTF format. The instructions are here. It's pretty easy, so we will not go through that. Let's just go straight into uploading a qualifying file and race file to process the results. So click upload your qualifying file. So we have already prepared this JSON files, and we have let's say demo qualifying Alright, and we'll upload a race file. We have now uploaded all the files. Once you've done that, let's refresh this, and we can see that the two files have now been uploaded. So let us now read these two files before we save. So we read this file. Alright, hang on. Alright, let's redo this section again. It's because we manually edited the files because we actually didn't do the race. So I'll just upload the files again. Demo race. So we want to put the qualifying. Upload the race. Let us refresh the page. Demo. Alright, so see, now that we have the demo, we select the demo file, we run the selected file, and this is the results that we get. Two drivers and the pole and the lap times. So let us save the qualifying results. This will store the data in our database. Okay, let's read our race file, and it will give you the race results. So as you can see, the cars are correct. Everything is fine. You've been assigned points. Yes, we did select 1 point for fastest lap, so total 11 points, and the next person gets 8 points. So these are all fine. We'll save these results. Results have now been saved. All right. So next, what do? We go back to our league, into this section, and you can now see that your driver standing has been updated. So what's the next step? We need to now make sure that we mark this event as complete. The event has been marked completed, reloads, and this event has been completed. Alright, so we would go back to this page, and now that we have done that, we can click this button, which will then actually publish a result which will be visible on our news section. So let's go ahead and do this, and before that, this button allows you to give a link to your sim results link if you would like to use sim results, but we have our own built-in result system as well. I'll show that in a couple of seconds. No link was provided. Yeah, that's fine. So we'll publish the news. News has now been published. So where do we see this? So when somebody is on our homepage, they go into our results, it would show you the latest race results, and here it comes. I mean, it's very basic, but at least it's a nice touch with the driver's picture and the rank and the time. And if you would like to view a more detailed result, you would click on view full results, which will give you your qualifying and your race results. All right, so what I was mentioning earlier about the results link is this. So the main results is our sprint race 1 was just completed, and we can click this and we can get to this page. Alright, something I would like to explain. Let's go into the drivers panel, and so we are now in our drivers section, and we are looking at the league standing. So as you can see, there are two drivers we just completed and been appointed points, allocated points. But both these drivers had registered under the same team name. But the system does not recognize them still under the same team. It's because it's an individual event. So we had selected the maximum driver size to be 1 per team. So that's why they have been calculated as separate. But if the event was for a maximum driver of 2, then the points would be calculated as one team, both drivers to be in the same team, and it would be taken as a team event. So we can have a look at this when we test the system in real time. But for the demo purpose, I have selected an individual event. And then at the bottom of the calendar, we now no longer see any more races. It's mainly because there are no more races we until the organizer publishes a new event. So go back home. If yes, there are leagues available, but are there any leagues available to join? Yes, you can join the league, but there's nothing, no races. All right, so that's pretty much it. Very simple. I hope it's simple. Took quite a lot of time to build this to make it easier for organizers and drivers because of all the hassles that we have to go through of registering for a league, the different number of forms that we need to fill up. But hopefully, this system will make life easier for everyone. And just before I finish the demonstration of this, I'd just like to mention about the liveries, which I forgot to show you earlier. So once you're in your league page, you actually have a section to submit your liveries, and you have clear instruction on what needs to be done, what needs to be uploaded, and the files that you've already submitted. So you have all these files. You would actually upload them one by one. You cannot, it does not accept multiple uploads, but I don't think it's much of a hassle. It's very quick. We'll just upload one for the sake of doing it. Documents. Hang on. Alright, so I'll just upload a, let's say, let's select a livery. And this is the skin file, and it should be located under this particular directory in your on your PC or wherever you designed it. And we'll upload it, and it's been uploaded. Once it's done, you would now then see that you've actually uploaded your livery JSON file, and then you would have to do the same for all the other files and give your livery a specific folder name to be saved so that it's unique. Usually a good idea would be to give the name of your team and underscore the car number, but it could be anything. So this is when the league organizers can just go into their panel and just download the liveries from the event section, which I showed earlier, and place the cars folder in the server, and that's it. And it's done, and nothing needs to be done. All right, so if you have any questions, do let me know. Hope this video helped. Sorry about the quality. Probably a bit messy, but just trying to get it done single-handedly. But I think it's much easier when you're interacting as one user rather than having to switch as a driver and organizers to make it look a bit more messy. All right, thanks.